If you're frightened of heights like I am, this isn't the movie for you. Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash, and today we're going to talk about Fall. Now, before I carry on, please hit the subscribe button just below. It helps my channel, it helps with the algorithm, and it don't cost you nothing, so just there. Nice one. So, Fall, starring Virginia Gardner, Grace Fulton, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and directed by Scott Mann. Scott Mann isn't a known director. He's normally, when he does a film, it goes straight to kind of like DVD, that kind of thing. Not saying he's a bad director. I mean, everyone starts somewhere. The only other film that anyone might know he did was a film with Robert De Niro and Batista and Jeffrey Dean Morgan again, called Heist. But anyway, so we're following the characters of Becky and Hunter, two girls, two best mates, and they're on a climbing expedition, and one of their boyfriends has an accident, and Becky was there to witness him fall. And for the whole year, she's kind of depressed, as you would be, drinking and doing that. So her friend Hunter brings her out of herself and says, look, there's this the B67 tower, TV tower, which is 2,000 feet. Let's go and climb it. Long story short, she tries to get it to go. They go eventually to get herself out of trouble and out of this depression. And everything goes wrong. The ladders fall apart. It's an old rusty ass TV tower, and it's dangerous as fuck anyway. It's falling apart, and as they get to the top, all the ladders and all the pieces fall off, and they're stranded 2,000 feet up on a ledge that was barely enough room for two people. And the rest of the film, they have to find a way to either get out of it or die. So after I saw the trailer of this, I personally am afraid of heights. About 10 years ago, I fell off a very tall ladder, and I used to be very good at running up and down, very confident and all these kind of things. And it was a very hot day, and the rubbers at the bottom of the ladder that was on the pavement, it was so hot that day, the rubbers actually melted and slipped, and the ladder went. I fell down, ended up in hospital. Nothing serious, but you know, x-rays and all that. But ever since then, I've been like this, and I've been up a few, but I'm still like this. And this is just a normal extension ladder. I even get scared when I see people going up, and for some reason, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, it scares the shit out of me. So when I saw the trailer of this, I was literally holding my breath. But I've seen films like this where The Shallows and I think Open Water, where the whole film is based around them being stuck in a certain place, and I'm like, oh, it's either going to be really good or really shit. Well, let me tell you, it was actually pretty decent. I won't say it was the greatest of all of them, but it was quite decent, so I'm not going to moan about that. Now, jumping into the positives. This film really, the cinematography was really good, which is very important in a film like this, where you're on top of a big tower, 2,000 feet, and you need to feel what they're feeling. And I felt like the director and the cinematography in the film really lets you feel about how high up they are. I mean, they may even look higher than they probably are, I don't know. But it really gives you that feel of it, and it gives you that kind of not claustrophobic, but that kind of vertigo feeling while you're watching it. And as I said, anyone who's scared of heights, like myself, it's a bad bastard. I'll tell you that. It's horrible. So when it comes to the music, I want to bring this up. There's a guy called Tim Dispic. He done the music score for this film, and it was really good, better than probably a film like this would usually get. We're talking about like Hans Zimmer type kind of a sounds to it. It was really good. I was really impressed. Now, a lot of people don't care about scores and the music, it's all in the background, but believe me, when a score is good, when something is happening on the film and the score really fits it, it makes a big deal to the film. So I just want to bring that up. I just thought it was really impressive. Now, as I said, like we're still in the positives, and I felt like the film was an hour and 40 minutes, and I was a bit worried about the length of it being the film it is as well. But I will say that the film was really well paced, and I didn't get bored, and I didn't feel like this was dragging on a bit much, because you have to remember, for the second half of the film, they're up in this tower and trying to find a way out, and I'm like, it's just you know, you've seen shit like that before and it can drag. So I was a bit concerned about the time, but that wasn't a problem. It flew past. Now, I just want to say, now I want to get into negatives. Right. Well, Jeffrey D. Morgan, he's on the trailer. If you see the trailer, he's on this. I've seen longer cameos than this. So they just threw him in for the sake of it. Maybe he was in the area and he said he'd do it, or his friend, the director. I don't know. He was in it for literally a couple of minutes and it was gone. So if you're going to go and see the film because he's in it, he's good enough. I'm just saying that that's not an issue. Now, the acting from the two girls was, it was weird because sometimes it felt like the acting was a bit hammy and then sometimes it felt pretty decent. Now, I haven't seen these girls on anything else, so I can't judge them on anything else, so it's unfair to really, but I'm just saying that the acting was hammy sometimes and sometimes it was pretty decent. They seemed scared, so, you know, but it didn't take me out of the film. There's a few other things now. First of all, there's a few jump scares in the film before they're even on the tower. And I found the film is going to be frightening. It was frightening enough, for me anyway, that you didn't need those silly little jump scares. I don't know, is it because it's some kind of it's supposed to be a horror film, so we've got to throw in some of these horror tropes, like there's a dream jump scare, which you know straight away is going to happen, and then there's another few other bits and pieces. For me, that just annoyed the shit out of me. I don't understand why they would have done that, but you know, I found that the last couple of minutes of the film, no spoilers, was a bit of a letdown, and I can't say why, but there was a couple of things that happened right at the end, literally the last couple of moments, that I was like, well, how, when, what? So that bothered me a little bit. I wanted to see a little bit more of that, and for people who will see that, you will know what I'm talking about. Not a deal breaker. It didn't ruin the film. It just, for me, it pissed me off a little bit. Now, me being a guy, want to see some action and all that, and there's plenty of it, yeah. There's some kind of drama going on between these two girls, Becky and Hunter, that I didn't give a shit about. Now, that's just me. I'm not saying it ruined the film. I just didn't care. It annoyed me. I was like, let's just, who cares? Now, I am kind of a guy that just, like, look, Rambo, I love Rambo. There's no drama on that. I love shit like that. So I'm just saying there was just a little bit of drama going on, and a lot of people will like the dynamic of what's going on there between them, but just to me, I just didn't give a shit about it. So it's more of a nitpick for me. I wouldn't say, again, it's not a deal breaker. So overall, the film's pretty decent. So my final thoughts of this film is that if you hate heights, it's probably going to scare the shit out of you, because there's moments on this where I was holding my breath, and I get that tightened feeling in my chest that people who are scared of heights get, I assume. And if you're scared of heights, this is definitely going to scare the shit out of you. But I also think if you're not, it's still a film that will make you hold on to whatever you're sitting on or next to. I'm telling you, it's pretty good in that sense. So they really did a good job. It is better than this type of film, this kind of genre type film. It's definitely better than a lot of them, so I do highly recommend that. It's not the greatest thing you'll ever see, and it's definitely probably not something you will return to again anytime soon, because it's kind of one of these one-time watches. But as I said, all in all, I really think it's worth watching. And if you have an hour and 40 minutes and you've nothing to watch and you want to go and see something that will kind of give you the thrills and buzzes, all these kind of good stuff that you like, then I'd recommend it. If you want to go and see some kind of like Oscar-winning films, this ain't it. But if you just want to sit back, put your feet up, hold on to something, this is definitely for you. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you scared of heights? Does a film like this just scare the shit out of you? Please let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe as normal. But for now, and until next time.